Hi, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 1439. It is April 1st, April Fool's Day. My TV's on. There we go. April Fool's Day. My least favorite day. You can't believe a thing. You wake up and you realize it's April 1st. Oh, it's April Fool's Day. Can't believe anything. By the middle of the day, you're scrolling the internet, you're reading, and all of a sudden, some stupid post F's with you. I've got there's one guy that always does, and they're lame. Read them, and they're lame. Like, come on. I hate April Fool's Day. I used to love it. When I was a kid, it was awesome. The story of Sid Finch. The internet ruined April Fool's Day because now it's unoriginal. Everything's dumb. Oh, guess what? I quit my job today. Oh, April Fools. It's like, come on. Stupid. I want to bring up my Facebook. I'm not going to show it on screen, but I just want to see if there's any, and this will be a real quick exercise. We'll just wow, some of these people in this country have completely lost their freaking minds. That would be the first thing. That is the first thing I look at on Facebook. He is correct. He is totally correct. Oh, I think is it election day? Something's election day. And then I also dislike doesn't look like there's any stupid April Fool's pranks on the Facebook feed. That's good. I lost my train of thought. Anyway, April Fool's Day, it sucks. It's stupid. The internet ruined it. You know, we had the story of Sid Finch, probably at least in the sports world. That's got to be like the greatest April Fool's story. And I'm sure we could Google like greatest April Fool's Day pranks. Sid Finch is the one I always remember. There's been a few, but certainly, you know, I think the story of Sid Finch, I was young, I was just a kid, and so it really like resonated. But like the modern pranks, and every once in a while there's a good one that sneaks through, but most of them are dumb, stupid. I don't want to hear it. When I was a kid, I enjoyed April Fool's Day, but I was a kid. I pulled the last like prank I pulled, and it was just a prank, and I don't even know if it was on April Fool's Day. I worked at the grocery store, and I had a coworker. I won't name names, but she was a little different. Probably not very smart. She had a stepson that was around my age, and he was a bit of a troublemaker. And may have dabbled in the funny cigarettes. And she was working, and I called, and I pretended to be somebody I shouldn't have been, because you can get in trouble for that. But I was like 16. I didn't know any better. Anyway, so I pretended that her son was in trouble. And she freaked the fuck out. I don't feel bad anymore, but at the time I did. I'm like, I think I took that too far. It's not like I told her kid was dead. I mean, you just got into some trouble. But it was all good. I was told not to do pranks anymore, at least on that particular coworker. But it was all good. She eventually laughed about it. It took a while. And I'm like, okay, maybe this stuff isn't suited up for me. And then I worked in radio, and of course, and I worked in radio in the like early-ish days of the internet. I mean, there certainly wasn't, I don't think YouTube. I mean, my first few jobs, there might have been YouTube. I don't know when YouTube was invented. But there wasn't very much, you know, there wasn't streaming video for sure. There was streaming audio back in the early days. But the internet certainly wasn't what it is today. And we would do, and none of the pranks we pulled on the morning show were my idea, because I don't know. I was probably still drunk from the night before. But my co-host Chris, he was very uh, original and creative, and would come up with good pranks. And usually my role on the show was the whipping boy. And you're going to try this, you're going to do that. So uh I think we had the Miss Cleo soundboard. That was probably the only one that like really that I can think of. We did some like random April Fool's Day pranks, but they were just dumb, like most are. We did one that really I remember was Miss Cleo. Remember Miss Cleo? She was like the psychic hotline. Call Miss Cleo. And we had, back in the early days, like internet entertainment, you had soundboards. And so you could click a button and hi, it's Miss Cleo. And then you could click another button. It's like, well, son, blah, 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 blah. And so there's all these different like audio clips of Miss Cleo. And so we announced on the morning show, like, and we built it up for, a week or 2 weeks. Like, hey, we're going to have Miss Cleo on the show, and she's going to do a psychic reading for one listener. She's going to do a psychic reading for you. And so we pumped this whole thing up over a week or two, and then we picked a winner. We wanted to pick a regular that we knew we thought would fall for it, and he did, hook, line, and sinker. So it wasn't really a winner. It was just hand selected. Okay, who wants to be in on this, or not be in on this, but who wants the psychic reading for Miss Cleo? Okay, that guy's perfect. He'll fall for it. And he did. And he felt like everything, like the soundboard was perfect to what he was, and it was just, it all fell perfectly in line. I was in tears. Like, I was on the floor. They had to cut my mic because I was like in the corner laughing so hard. It was awesome. Miss Cleo. So now I hate April Fool's Day. That was a fun one. That was definitely over 20 years ago. It was probably not more than 20 years ago, but that would probably been, let's see, April Fool, probably 2004. So probably 21 years ago. So wow, somebody born on that day can go out and buy beer today. That's crazy to think about. So April Fool's Day. Don't believe anything you read or hear today, except for on this show. I hate April Fool's Day, so I'm not gonna do anything stupid. I'm not gonna make any jokes. I'm not creative enough to do jokes. So welcome to April Fool's Day. Little update on Ernie. So Ernie is sick. Ernie is not. He's doing okay, but he's certainly not well. So yesterday, was it yesterday where he was up through the night? I can't remember. But I think he might be better than yesterday, hopefully. So yesterday he still had diarrhea. I had to take a runny poop sample to the vet yesterday, so they're testing it. Hopefully we get the results this morning. So I took a poop sample to the vet, picked up some prescriptions for him. It was harder than hell to get pills in him. And I thought Biscuit was stubborn when it came to taking pills. My God. Ernie, and I should have known. I should have known, and I should know this old puppy. He's stubborn. He's a stubborn cuss. Ooh, peanut butter. Oh, that's we did not try that. We did not try that. That's I am that's a great idea. Um, so at first I just tried to give him the pill. I did that 5 times and that didn't work. My wife's like, "Well, what did you put it in?" And I'm like, "Nothing." She's like, "Well, no wonder he didn't take it." And I'm like, "I thought if I did the whole like mouth close, massage the throat, I thought that would work." She's like, "No." So then Miss Smarty Pants tried it with I think what did we try first? We tried cheese because that always gets them. We could trick Biscuit with cheese. Um, nope, he was still spitting it out. We tried his treat. We tried meal mixer. Um, I think that was just the three, and we had a hell of a time. But he's not pooped. I think he had a solid poop early yesterday morning. But then, um, but then he had diarrhea later in the morning, and then I think he had one more diarrhea right around lunchtime, right around noon. And that's what I took to the vet, picked his prescriptions up. And he puked. Probably after we tried giving him the pill. So he did throw up. So we talked to the vet. We're like, hey, should we take him? Like he's not like lethargic. Like he's more lethargic than normal, but he still gets super excited when there's a dog walking in front. Like he races to the door, races to the window. So he's still got some energy, but he's definitely like he'll go into his crate and take a little nap, which is unlike him. Unless he's like really tired from doggy daycare, and he's not really tired because he's not doing anything. So yeah. So hopefully he's feeling better. We'll get the poop test back. He did sleep. Good thing is he did sleep through the night. I think I was away on Friday night. But my wife said he was up all night. Friday night, he was up all night. Saturday night, he was up all night. Sunday night, just like had to go potty and all that. So, and I think maybe even back to Thursday, he might have got up a couple times. On Thursday, I can't remember, but he slept until 4:30 this morning, which was a godsend. We both needed sleep. My wife and I, and so he got up at 4:30 and peed, and then I got up at 6:30. I took him out. He didn't do anything, but we went outside. So peanut butter, that's a good one. So we'll try peanut butter, and we'll see. And we do have like the organic. We have organic peanut butter that we got for Biscuit when she was sick. So we'll try that. Hopefully the little guy gets better soon. What else is going on? So I didn't get much work done yesterday because I was this is like the busy time for my wife, so she was at showings and appointments all day. So I got a little bit of shipping done, but not much. I'm not behind, but I've got a lot of shipping to do. Over 300 orders, I think. I did not get too many orders out yesterday. Maybe 40, 50 orders yesterday. I'm at 314. I had auctions ending last night. I think there's auctions ending tonight. Even with the auctions ending last night, still a poor sales day. Thursday was good. Friday I had the big sale. Without that big sale, it would have been good. It would have been decent. Saturday was okay. Sunday was okay. And yesterday was a little below average. So I haven't been putting much effort into my eBay store, which I've been working on a side project that will become a full thing that I'll be announcing later. I've been working on sorting stuff for eBay Live. I'm still waiting for my first session with eBay on that. So hopefully that's coming. I was hoping this week could dive into that so we can like to go live May 1st. So yeah. Yeah, that's about it. Just hanging out with Ernie. I did secure the Williamson Ballroom for Sunday, April 27th. So the Pokemon show, the Madison Pokemon show will have the same footprint as the Madison Card Show. So the Madison Pokemon show will be 140 dealer tables. I haven't gone through, I haven't signed the contract yet. I think I do have it in my inbox. I think it came yesterday afternoon. So once I get that signed, I'll go and get the waiting list booked and announce that room is going to be open. Oh man, I'm still trying to play catch up from this weekend. Speaking of card shows, I'll be in Wheaton, Illinois this Saturday. For the DuPage County Fairgrounds card show, Wheaton, Illinois. I'll have all my bargain boxes. It'll be all quarter boxes this time. A lot of new boxes. So come out and see me if you're in the Chicagoland area. Wheaton, Illinois, this Saturday for the DuPage County Fairgrounds card show. And then my bargain box, my dime box bonanza, dime box debauchery will be hopefully the second or third Saturday of April, looking at the 12th to the 19th. I don't know if we have forecasts going that deep. No. Basically, it's kind of, I think weather-wise, as long as it's like at 60, even like a high of 55, I think. Because inside that storage unit, even if it's 55, like it'll be comfortable. It won't be chilly in there. So, so yeah, this Saturday, Wheaton, Illinois, and then the next couple Saturdays, potentially my dime box blowout from my storage unit, which is in Madison, Wisconsin. Let's go to the chat. What's going on? Red Light 34 in the house. Good morning. Raphael is here. What's happening? Red Light says early today. Yeah, on time today. On time has become early. Gem City Card Show. Good morning. John says Wikipedia is bad with the April 1st stuff. Oh, okay. So don't look at Wikipedia today. Is there anything on... let's just scroll Twitter and see a lot of torpedo bat talk. Let's see. Nothing stupid. What's trending? I don't know. The internet sucks now. The internet just sucks. And I think a lot of it is like everything's changing, and I don't like that. I'm to the point where I hate change. That's the stage in life I'm at. But Google sucks now. Like Google, I want to Google, especially when I want to Google images, like for a thumbnail or something. It's like you can't find images. It's all video, or I don't know. It's just maps suck. I'm just getting old, and I haven't adapted. With the internet. Knackley Collectibles, good morning. April Fool's Day has gotten worse since social media. Amen to that. Amen. It's even worse with social media. The internet changed it to where it wasn't, you could kind of catch on. The pre-internet days, it was like classic good stuff. Now it's just stupid. And with social media, it's even worse. You are absolutely correct. The internet ruined it. And then social media just absolutely ruined it more. Mikey, what's up? Good morning. David's in the house. Good morning. Gem City says, wait, the torpedo bats aren't a farce. And the funny thing is, it's not just the every team uses them. A couple guys on the Cubs have been using them, even had them in spring training. So It's not like a Yankees thing. Like all the teams, I don't know if all the teams, but a lot of the teams have been using the torpedo bats, and the Yankees have home run hitters, and they just hit home runs. Look at the bat. Donald, what's going on? Good morning. L1C says, good news. New Year resolution complete. I'm officially organized. April Fools. Yeah, that's all I got. See, there you go. There you go. That's what my joke would be. Peanut butter is for pills. Ice cream. I'm not going to try that. I'm not going to try ice cream. My dog never has a problem with pills in his wet food. Peanut butter for when he needs more than one pill a day. Interesting. We don't have Ernie on wet food. We did not want to fall into the Biscuit trap where we ended up having to put like frickin' all sorts of treats in her food just to get her to eat. But even, I mean, there were some days even like, and when she was healthy, like she would not eat leftover hamburger. Like if we would make a small little hamburger for Biscuit, she would eat it up. We would make a second one, so she would eat something the next day. I had that last night. She was a diva. She would not eat leftovers. Leftover frickin' hamburger and salmon. She would not. No. It's like, no, that's leftovers. I don't eat leftovers. Ernie, not the case. Ernie just eats everything. But we want to keep it that way. So we give Ernie the dry food, the kibble, and he gets treats every once. He'll get cheese every once in a while. I think that's about all. So, I mean, salmon. We made him a burger one time. Todd, good morning. My dog was the same. Always spit out her pills. We ended up having to grind them up in her food. Yes. That was something we did do with Biscuit. That's another good, yeah. Because I completely forgot we did that with Biscuit. I guess the problem is he's not like he doesn't have an appetite. So we would do that with Biscuit, but we would have to make sure it was grinded up in a small portion because she just didn't eat very much. So I couldn't like just sprinkle it over her whole bowl because she wouldn't eat. Oftentimes would not eat the whole bowl. Zach says, turned off my music to listen to you at the gym. Already regretting it. I'm putting cheese slices on your e-bike to see if that works. You know, I should get my e-bike tuned up and I should take that out for a spin here as it gets warmer. Uncle Rich, good morning. And we should not believe you are live. I am live. Let's see. Cody, good morning. You should ask Doggy Daycare if anything is going around. Yes, we did. Never fun with a sick little guy. No, so we did call Doggy Daycare yesterday and just we wanted to give them an update. And so yeah, we did say, is there anything going around? Ernie's got something. Just so you know, I don't think my wife took him to Doggy Daycare on Saturday. I think he was home on Saturday, but he was there all week. But now I'm like thinking back and remember I mentioned early last week, it was Monday or Tuesday of last week that he was off at Doggy Daycare. And they're like, yeah, he was kind of lethargic in the afternoon and he wanted to go back in his crate, which is unlike him. But it was also a crazy week with different dogs, new dogs. His friends weren't there. So they're like, keep an eye on him. He gets home and he's like rambunctious and off the walls like normal. His poop was fine, no puke. But I did recall back, and that was Monday or Tuesday last. I think it was Monday last week, which would have been the first day of all the new dogs. So it could have been like, whoa, like I don't know any of these dogs. This is strange, and my friends aren't here. So it could have been that, and then maybe one of those new dogs gave him something. I don't know. Porter says, as long as the peanut butter doesn't have xylitol in it, it's good to go. I'll check it. So we have like an organic peanut butter, and I would imagine It doesn't have any xylitol. There's so much shit in our food. I need to I've kind of the last, I don't know, the last week or so, well, really the last month, I had spring training. It's kind of like I was so good. I was so good on my diet from like May through November. And then Thanksgiving hits. And it's like, and then it just kind of lingers. And then Christmas hits and it lingers. And then I'm at spring training and just nothing but shit and beer. Shit and beer. And I had pizza Friday night. I had a burger at the hotel Saturday night, a few beers. It's like I need like a detox week. Like no beer, no pizza. I just need clean food. So much garbage in our food. Carrie, good morning. Can we believe that Carson Kelly hit for the cycle last night? No, Carrie brings up a great point because I actually thought about it. I'm like, oh God, it's April 1st. You can't believe anything. And I'm like, Carson Kelly hit for the cycle. If that would have happened today, that's like April Fools. Like Carson Kelly is hitting for the cycle. I don't believe it. Cubs backup catcher. Don't believe it. Apparently he did. Apparently he actually did hit for the cycle last night. Cubs with a huge 18-4. And by the way, John Keating, Kyle Tucker, I think was 4 for 7 last night and hit another home run. Top 10 player in baseball, Kyle Tucker. Tigers 727. Good morning. It's been a while. Hope everyone is doing well. Absolutely. Welcome back. Zach says, for your dime box thing, is the product more on the Jeff Dell side or more modern? I'd be interested if more Dell. All of the above. All of the above. There's not going to be, I mean, for the older stuff, it's not going to be, there's not going to be any like Frank Thomas, Ken Griffey Jr., anything like that. But there's going to be like, I don't know. I should grab a box. Let me go see if I have a box in that I'm getting ready to take over to the unit and see if I have. All right, so here's just a random box. So you're not going to find any steals and deals in my bargain box blowout. There's going to be a lot of modern. There's going to be like 79 Topps Commons. There's probably going to be a lot of Bowman stuff like this. Troy Melton. Oh, Jackson Jobe Refractor will not be in there. So this box I do need to go through. But here, like football, it's going to be a lot of like this 2012 Top Strata. And it's not going to be, there's not going to be any Hall of Famers. More than like, there might be some. There's going to be like Brewers police cards. There'll probably be like some 88 Donruss like that. 88 Donruss Ripken. There might be some of that. Mark McGuire, Kirby Puckett. So there might be some like junk wax of that stuff. But essentially it's going to be my quarter boxes that have been cherry picked. So it's not going to be, there's going to be hundreds of thousands of cards to go through. But it's going to be, I mean, who knows? I don't know what I don't know what anybody's looking for. So I can't really say, oh, it's going to be awesome. Oh, it's going to suck. Because one person may say, I'm not spending a dime on these cards. And the next person might fill up a 5-row box because it's a great deal. So, but to give you an idea, there's going to be a lot of modern, but there's going to be a lot of junk wax. There's going to be some like early 80s Commons, there's going to be some, probably some 79 tops commons. There might be a whole box of them. Because I think I do have a 5-row box of 79 tops commons. That's I dime box it out. That normally, if I had the space, I would take it to a card show, but it's like, where are we at? Let's see. John says, did you just say especially? I don't think so. You'll have to rewind it, but typically I say especially. No X. Zach says, Google may go the way of Kodak. Article on Drudge today. Younger folks going to, wait for it, chat. Is Drudge still a thing? Is the Drudge Report still a thing? Is Snopes still out there? GPT. Yeah, I've started using Chat GPT for a lot of things. And if you've Googled things, Google is using AI, which is actually kind of cool. You don't have to click on articles. Rich says, Bo, look at the bright side. The spate of political TV ads stopped for a short time after today. Yes, it is voting day. Thank God. And we have a very important race in the state of Wisconsin. Rock the vote. I'll be going out voting today. Hopefully not getting any more phone calls, text messages, and door knocks. We just opened the door. Like we don't even know who's at the door. If the doorbell rings or somebody knocks at the door, we just like blindly open it and say, yes, we are voting for X candidate. Thank you. No, I don't need your flyer. Porter says, the internet does suck. This middle-aged man can never seem to find the right GIF to truly express himself. There you go. Chuck Norris jokes. That's when the www dot peaked. Oh, man, that's going way back. John says, we used to grind up pills as well, only it wasn't for the dog and they didn't go into our mouths. Donald says, they make peanut butter pill pockets for pets. Interesting. Rich says, and my wife decided to crash into one of our good neighbors' brand new card. WTG, dear, and thankfully no one hurt. Car or card? John just rented a storage unit. When will my profits roll in? Tomorrow is when it all begins. Peter, good morning. John says Ernie might have chlamydia. Red Light says, yeah, right. You're not taking that damn e-bike for a ride. I'm taking that damn e-bike for a ride. Now you've done it. Now you've challenged me. My God, I probably need to take it to get some air in the tires and all that good stuff. I'm going to wait till it gets warmer, though. Where are we at? Dan says, what's up, Dan? Bo's last trip on his e-bike was to Mount Horeb in 2023. That is incorrect. That is not correct, Dan. I took a trip last summer. Where did I go? I think I went to Riley. I think I rode out to Riley, which is about halfway to Mount Horeb, and then to Verona and back. I mean, it was a good probably 20 miles. Now it's an e-bike, so it's not like 20 miles on a Huffy. But I did take a ride on my e-bike last summer of 2024. In fact, 2023, I did not go to Mount Horeb in 2023. So this is 2020. So 2024, I rode out to Riley, down to Verona and back. And then 2023, I don't think I wrote. I think the only time, because 2023 was the year we moved into this house. We were finishing this house, and I think that summer I rode my bike from my old house to this house once, and that was it. So John says American food blows. Indeed it does. They fuck it up with all these chemicals. Rich says, when the Mets were really bad in 1964, they once scored 19 runs versus the Cubs in a game. That would have been the Cubs, the College of Coaches days for the Chicago Cubs. Those were ugly days in the early 1960s for the Cubbies. Tiger 727 says, have Ernie checked for anaplasmosis? It's a version of Lyme's disease, but some vets and blood tests don't see it. I know it's early in the season for ticks, but he may have picked it up last summer. I don't know if he would have picked it up last summer. I don't. When's tick season? Because he was just. We didn't get him until August, July. I don't know when tick season. I don't know if is tick season a spring thing or a fall thing. Zach and Porter nailed it. Kyle Tucker 4 for 7 last. I think he had like 4 RBI, 3 runs scored, a home run. Top 10 player. Cooter, good morning. Looking for another day of bargain boxing, current retiree savings. Uncle Rich says, and some no-name like Dick Smith had 6 RBI. So when that came into the New York Times newsroom, the question was, did they win? Porter says, former Cardinal hits for the cycle. Yeah, that checks out. Cooter wants to know, how are the Jurickson Profar sales today? I probably, the funny thing is, usually when even bad news hits the cycle, the news cycle, I will sell cards. So Jurickson Profar has been suspended for 80 days for PEDs or whatever. But I bet I have not sold any Jurickson Profar. Let's see. Because sometimes when it does hit the news cycle, like all of a sudden it's like, oh wow, I sold a Jurickson Profar. Let's see. We want to go. Let's just click here. All right. So let's type in Profar. Nope, no Jurickson Profar sales. John says, was Ernie even alive last summer? He was probably being born at the beginning of the summer. Let's see. Let's see how I think he's 10 months now. He's 10 months old now. So that would he was born in like early June. And then we got him, I think at the beginning of August is when we picked him up. Zach says, I appreciate the transparency on your inventory. I will probably pass unless you can guarantee I will find a Trout Bowman auto. I can guarantee you will not find a Trout Bowman auto, or probably any autos. Not even Steve Trout. Uncle Rich says, Drudge Report is still a thing, but nowhere near what it was in the day. Rich says, and Snopes is still hanging around as well. Found Treasures, good morning. Dan says, it's time for another pallet purchase. No, it's not. Dan, no, it's not. I just bought one. It's only been 3 days. Come on, man. I picked one up Friday, so I'm not due for a while. Max says, I wasn't going to, but now knowing you were going, I'll head out and cancel you out. I wasn't going to, but now knowing you were going, I'll head out and cancel you out. Oh, the voting. How do you don't know who I'm voting for. John says, vote for tariffs, folks. Cannot wait to get my tariff checks. Gem City says, I'm trying to get my bargain boxes set up for the Macomb show. I think I'm going to have some real steals and deals in Macomb, which is April 12th. April 12th. Found Treasure says, hope we refrain from dog do talk today. We did talk about runny diarrhea earlier in the show, but we're diarrheaed out. No more diarrhea talk. You should have Rich co-host with you. His inspired color commentary counterbalances your so-so play-by-play. Gem City says, double down and put a 1970s baseball card in this, folks. The Twitter trolls will lose it. Yeah, they don't like when you throw cards away. Even the damaged 88 Donruss. Give it to a kid. Oh, there's kids in Ethiopia that want your 88 Donruss creased and bent in half. Oh, for humanity's sake. Save the cards. Max says, found. You're about a half hour late, so you're safe. John says there's a mountain in Wisconsin. Mountain in Wisconsin. Oh, Mount Horeb. And do you ever do stunts and tricks on your? No, it's too heavy. No tricks and stunts. When will spell check recognize e-bike as a word? It probably should already. Dan says your ride to Mount Horeb had to be 2021 or 2022. Think you mentioned you went to a brewery or drank some beer somewhere on that trip. Lots of trips involve beer. I've rode to Mount Horeb several times. Because it's right on the bike path. It's an easy Easy bike path. 20. My New Glarus trip would have been 2021. I think that's the year was that the year I bought the e-bike? 2021, I rode to New Glarus, which was like 60 miles round trip. I think it was like 56 miles round trip. My battery ran out like with a mile and a half to go. And the e-bike weighs 90 pounds with everything in it. And so pedaling a 90-pound bike uphill both ways was difficult. Hell, even with it's not like it's got like a freaking V8 on it. It's not like it's got a V6 or a V8 or even a 4-cylinder. Even small hills, it doesn't, provide much power. It gives you a little boost. But some of those hills, especially when you get down by New Glarus, oof, those are brutal. I got a workout and a half. That day. I did it. I don't think I'll do it again. Maybe I will. I'm in a little better condition than I was in 2021. I weigh less. So I'm in a little better shape. Maybe I could do a New Glarus run. I don't know. I did it once. It's like, I don't want to do it again. Zach says the western side of the state was not impacted by the glacier. It has some hills and driftless areas, not as cool as lower Delco, but still pleasurable on the eyes. Delco has a murder dirter. According to Rich, Drudge is like Hobby Hotline. Tiger 727, tick season is basically all year now. Even though we still have snow because of a recent storm, they have been seen in February in the UP. Interesting. I was not aware. I thought we just had tick season. Like, oh, don't go outside. It's tick season. Or don't go in the woods. It's tick season. Brian's in the house. I got to see Brian at the Madison Card Show this past weekend. PSA gave rave reviews. They had a great turnout. Hopefully they'll be back. Nothing scheduled, but they were very pleased with the turnout and what they were taking in on Saturday at the Madison Card Show. Who the heck names their kid Jurickson? Mr. and Mrs. Profar. Dan needs to tune in more than once a month. Porter says, I'm ready for the Final Four. This tournament has been like Doug Funny's best friend, Chalky. Yeah, all 4 number ones. Uncle Rich says, happy to go on with Bo anytime he wants, but he's such a good radio personality, he does not need me. But in self-serving pub, I will be on with Jeremy Lee. Oh, wow. He hasn't been doing very many interview shows, at least that I have seen lately, or they're with people that it's like, I'm not really interested in what they're selling. So I will tune in. Jeremy Lee this Saturday, 9 p.m. Central. I always have to watch the replay because 9 p.m. Central, it's very late for me. So Brian says, lots of good trips involve beer. Amen to that. Uncle Rich says, we were in a DM chat and he was shocked it's been that long, almost 5 years. Dan says, I've been going to bed early to get 8+ hours of sleep, so that's why I haven't been around. Didn't know you purchased a pallet a few days ago. Thank you. Yes. Dan's going to bed. Michael Renicky, good morning. Rich Klein says, Hobby Hotline has not been the same since Mr. Keating stopped hosting. John says, ticks are a lot like dealers just sitting around waiting to freeload off of something. Cooter says, has anybody told Dan that Bo is doing a Pokemon-only show? John says, Hobby Hotline owned by a right-wing Christian anti-Zionist org, so I boycott. Zach says, Mount Horeb is a cool little place. The trolls are everywhere. It's like the troll capital. They call they call Main Street the Troll Way. They have the Grumpy Troll Brewery, which is that's usually where I head when I go to Mount Horeb on the bike. Anyone tell Dan Bo has a new dog? Max says, wasn't Doug Funny's friend Skeeter? Shut up, Max. Give me a pass. Are the natives of Mount Horeb called horribles? Could be. We could call them that. All right. So that's what I had for today. Don't believe anything you hear today. Correct. Chalky was not his best bud, but Pork Chop was the dog. Patty Mayonnaise, the love interest. That was, what was that? Rugrats? Doug. That was the show Doug. I don't remember that. I mean, I remember it, but I don't think that was, first off, I didn't have cable. So I think I was a little older. I was born in 82. So people that watched Doug and Rugrats, like, I think I was on like the borderline of like probably somebody 2 years younger than me was big into Doug and Rugrats, but I was like, it was like that coming of age. Now I'm going to go Google it. Maybe if Google works, Google. I feel like maybe it was just because I didn't have cable. Rugrats TV show, Wikipedia. Hopefully it doesn't do me wrong. So it premiered in 91. So I would have been 9 years old. So I feel like it would have been if I would have. I remember it being on, but I just don't remember like watching it. Like it wasn't. I don't know. I'm curious. Gem City says, what was his strange neighbor's name? I can hum the theme song on command. Zach says, chat. GPT. Most folks here are too old for Rugrats and Doug. I mean, I was 9 when it premiered, but it like, I don't know if I thought I was too old for it at the time when I was at like a friend's house watching it. I'm curious. Like, I wonder what was I like? I was into like 91. Like I was into Full House. I was into The Simpsons. I was into like Family Matters and Married with Children. Yeah, my parents let me watch Married with Children. I'm a rebel. John says, I only remember Arthur because of its reggae theme song, and I felt like sparking one up. Brian says, wife's uncle was amazed at all the kids running around with hundreds at the card show, throwing cash around like it was a strip club. Yeah, isn't that amazing? Like, freaking 10-year-olds. They should be at home watching Rugrats, and they're spending thousands of dollars at a card show. It's crazy. GPT says Bitcoin up to 83,000. Arthur is strange. Neighbor was called Mr. Dink. Mr. Dink takes him fishing. What an episode. Was that when the neighbor Mr. Dink takes him fishing? Was that one of those special episodes? Porter says, Bo was probably watching Faces of Death. Faces of Death. I don't even know what that is. I was watching Friday the 13th. I could tell you I was watching Friday the 13th in 1991. I loved Friday the 13th. What Faces of Death? Faces of Death, the 1978 Mondo horror film? I don't know if I've ever seen this. After performing an open heart surgery, pathologist Francis B. Gross tells the viewer that he is interested in the transitional periods of life and death thanks to a recurring dream. At the same time, his experience as a surgeon has desensitized him to grotesque deaths. He's compiled footage to understand the many faces of death. Interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen that. Gem City says, where were you the first time you watched South Park? Probably a friend's house. But I don't remember. Like, I remember because I think it was a weeknight. Wasn't South Park on weeknight? It was on a weeknight, like Wednesday night or something. But I remember everybody talking about South Park, but I don't remember like watching it. And even when I did, it wasn't like, maybe I just didn't like shows that everybody else liked because I was never a big, now Beavis and Butthead, I loved Beavis and Butthead. But South Park, South Park premiered when I was in high school. I think I was a sophomore when South Park came out. But I don't really remember, like, I can't remember watching it for the first time. I remember watching it eventually, but I do recall it being on like a weeknight because everybody at school, like, did you watch South Park? And I'm like, no, because I'm poor and I don't have cable like you prick. Faces of Death. Yes. The bicycle shop owner, Different Strokes. If you know, you know. That's where I was going. That's where I was heading. Zach knows me. Bringing Roseanne lately. Binging Roseanne lately. So I grew up, I loved Roseanne. Not Roseanne the person, but Roseanne the show. I was watching the top of Little Rock Connie's head in 1991. Faces of Death is a Mondo doc with executions and shit. Cooter says we passed around a bootleg VHS copy of Faces of Death. Snuff film is Faces of Death. Max says it's all fake and made up, though. Zach says same era of Ken Shamrock UFC fights on tape from Family Video. Oh, yeah. I was watching some UFC back in the late 90s. Zach says Faces of Death is a controversial pseudo-documentary that presents graphic scenes of death, some real and many staged, under the guise of exploring mortality, directed by John Allen Schwartz. Bo had pie pans. He didn't need South Park. That's right. That's right. All right. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Check out my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Buy 7 or more items in the Buy It Now section. Save 25% off. Don't forget there's auctions. I think there's some good auctions ending tonight. Not that there's not good auctions, but I think there's some really good stuff ending tonight. Where are we at? Ending soon. We got some LeBron James. We got LeBron ending tonight. Let's check out the auctions. Present screen. There we go. LeBron James. We got some color LeBron, purple. There's a silver hollow. There's a green, white, purple. There's a blue prism. There's a hyper pink, silver, green. All the colors of the rainbow for LeBron James. We got, it's a basketball night. Zion. Like nothing has bid. Oh, Zion does have a bid. We got a 90s insert of Reggie Miller. Oh, we got some baseball. Dylan Campbell, first chrome. Anthony Edwards, Prism rookie. Whoa, that's at $5.50. LaMelo Ball Prism doesn't even have a bid. Steph Curry green, and it's a variation. No bids. Cameron Brink, first chrome, no bids. Zion rookie, no bids. Jackson Jobe, first chrome. I think one sold for $5 on auction last week. This one has 0 bids. Anthony Edwards, mosaic rookie. First Bowman Jobe. I thought I had some. There's a Dirk 2000 insert from Ultra. Michael Harris, first Bowman. Paulo Banchero rated rookie. No bids on that. Wow. Basketball, super soft. Jackson Churio, Mr. 5 strikeouts in 1 game. Spotlights insert. Hopefully he can hit a home run. I think he did hit a home run the other day. Some Junior Cabaneros, some Spellbounds, Giannis. Christian Campbell, first Bowman, the only one I found in my box of prospects. Bronny James, first chrome. That's got a bid. He scored 52 points in a game. That's no fooling. That's not an April Fool's joke. If it would have happened on April 1st, though, I would not have believed he scored 52 points in a game. We've got some Lucas. I thought I had some. I thought my David Ortiz. Haley Van Lith, first chrome. I think she's in the Elite 8. I don't know. I thought I heard her name. There it is. Ending tonight. David Ortiz autograph with the Minnesota Twins. One of his early autographs. 98 Skybox. David Ortiz, it's up to $16.50. Get those bids in now. We've got some Wemby rookies. Jason Hayward, Panini Immaculate autograph, numbered to 25. I hope that sells for more than $1.75, or I'll regret putting that at auction. Andre Dawson. This is autographed to 25. It's at $9.50. It's a cool auto. We've got an Ernie Banks 58 Topps All-Star, only at $2.25. We got the Hulk Hogan Refractor from Allen and Ginter, only at 99 cents. Somebody bought that for $25 and then opened a return because they changed their mind. Thanks, eBay. George Amore. So some good stuff. All this stuff ending tonight. Oh, Pete Maravich, another Bronny James, some autos. So check it out, 99centcards.com. Great auctions ending tonight. Remove that. All right. Where are we at? The Birds hate the pie pans. They do. It solved the bird problem, but it created a pie pan problem is what it did. Has my package shipped? No, it has not. It should be shipping out today. Porter says, at my first job, Lambert's Cafe, HR gave me a talking to about my Kenny keychain hanging out of my pocket. Zach says, I picked up a Brewer's Auto from your store. I don't see a label created. Ernie can wait. Found Treasure says, only 10 likes. We're underperformers. IRS ships faster than Bo. That's right. 3 business days means 3 business days. Dude could at least generate a label and blame it on Oak Creek. Victor Scott keeps racking up points for you. Wilson Contreras and Mason Wynn are still hitless on the year. And I think I've got a Mason Wynn first Bowman up for grabs at auction tonight. Gem City says, I hope it sells for my bid price that will be more than $1.76, but less than $1,000. Red Light says, I still have the UFC on VHS. Very nice. Very nice. All right. Hit that like. I'm going to go hit that like button. Somebody said we're down on the likes. Where's YouTube? All right. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Visit my eBay store, 99centcards.com. You'll save 25% when you buy 7 or more cards at regular price in the Buy It Now section. And we've got some awesome auctions, as I just shared, over at 99centcards.com. All right. Have a great day. We'll do this again tomorrow. I don't know what time. Hopefully 7 a.m. Central, but we'll see if I get any sleep. I did get some sleep last night, so here we are. Have a great day. We'll see you in the morning tomorrow.